is life on property matters. I want to quickly say a very, very big thank you to everybody that has been following us. Uh, it's been a challenging week for me personally because I've had to attend to so many things. I think I need the light to face here. Okay, I think it's better there. So, in case you are seeing or you are viewing me for the first time, thank you very much. It's been a while since we had a live session like this, and it's due to the fact that a lot of activities have been happening for 2 months now. I've been on movement just to ensure that my all my real estate investor gets the best. So if you can hear me, just say hello. In case you are coming across this video for the first time, you can also let me know. If my audio is also clear, please let me know. So I'll be going very okay. Good morning, Ma. Good morning, Ma. I hope you are fine. Thank you, everybody. So if my audio is fine, let me know. If you can hear me, let me know. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, considering your time location. So I'll be talking about overpriced property, but um, I'll be going details into it because I already have a video on it. But I'm going to be talking about Lagos land policies, and I'm also going to be talking about some present real estate offers, what I think about them, and I will also be, explaining some things that you need to understand. Thank you very much for everybody that's been joining. I've been very, very busy for the past 2 months, trying to get the best real estate offers for you, my real estate investors, and I'm also going to be sharing this. So in case you have seen this live session for the first time, you can subscribe if you have not subscribed to this channel, and please help me double tap, just like this video, and share it among your friends. So let's talk about Lagos State land policies and why properties will never be cheap in Lagos. And this has been a topic, and of course I'm going to be coming here by the special grace of God on Thursday to also talk about why Lagos State will be very, very expensive for some set of people. Thank you very much in case you are coming across. So okay, I have more people joining. Thank you very much. I appreciate everybody coming online. So we'll just go straight to the topic of the day. Now let's talk about government land policies. Now, a lot of people have been reacting to some of the video made by Mr. Scott, and I would want you to tag Mr. Scott on this video. First of all, I would say what he's doing at the moment right now is more or less like a wake-up call, and ever since he has started this, I've noticed a lot of adjustments. Now, but the reason why I'll not be diving deeper into this is because I have a video where I explained everything, though I faulted some points that was raised by Mr. Scott, and of course, I'm not here to disclose that. Let's talk about Lagos State land policies and why properties are not cheap in Lagos. And if you have invested in Lagos, let me start by saying that investing in Lagos is one of the best decisions you can make. And the reason why I'm saying this basically is that the value of properties in Lagos, there was a particular time an investor came from the diaspora and met with me recently, and I took her, okay, to our investments around the Shongotedo axis. She bought in one of our projects there, and when she got there, and she said, I've heard a lot of people talk about Songotedo. A lot of people have talked about Monastery. A lot of people have, talk about the potential. And she said, I got to this particular location. There is nothing much, going on in this location. So why are they selling this particular property, or why was this particular estate sold for the price at which she bought? And one of the things I basically did was to explain some fundamental, some important things to her. Because you see, if you don't pay attention to some underlying factor, okay, you will be making an investment mistake, which the aim of what I do here is to ensure that you don't make such mistakes. Now, when it comes to Lagos, see, the value of Lagos State real estate is not dependent whether there are structures there or whether there are people staying there. Now, I stand to be corrected because you see, everybody is learning. We all are learning from each other. Now, a lot of people have said, I bought a property in the Bejuleki axis. I went there and it seems like nothing is going on. Now, there is this value appreciation, okay, that the Lagos State real estate market commands. And this appreciation is not dependent on whether they have started work there or not. In as much as fact that that real estate, okay, is within the geographical confines of Lagos, it is already valuable. Now, after we went through the property, and I said, okay, since this is the first time we're getting to meet, I want you to see some other project. And of course, we drove down to the to the ongoing coastal road. And when she saw the coastal road, she saw the beaches, and she said something that what she has seen on that day is kind of similar to what she has seen in developed countries across the world. But one of the things I explained to her was that Lagos State real estate commands larger percent of attention because of the fact that it is only in Lagos State that infrastructure project has been ongoing right from different regime. So she saw the coastal road. We drove, okay, to the proposed international airport she saw, and I showed her some other projects. Now, we concluded that site visitation with one statement, and this was what I told her. I said it in Yoruba, but I'll say it in Yoruba, and I'm going to interpret. Apologies to the non-Yoruba speakers, but I'm going to just explain what I said to her. I said, Ile Eko control the anybody. Boyera, boyera, àǹfààní ẹ̀. What that simply means is that Lagos land, the value appreciation does not wait for anybody. Whether you have chosen to buy or not, the appreciation is guaranteed. Now let's talk about why properties are expensive in Lagos. And I'm going to explain. So I know most of us are aware of inflation, the cost of construction, the cost of building materials. You know, I've done several videos explaining some of these things, saying some of these so that investors can have an accurate understanding. But I'm going to explain some of these things to you today. Now, if you are buying a property in Lagos, the safety and the security of your property is dependent on two things. The first thing that determines your property's safety is the title that is on it. The second part that also determines your property is the what? Is the integrity of the real estate developer that I've sold to you. I've made several videos where I've said that your property is as safe as the connection and the financial capability of the developer that I've sold to you. I have videos on that, so I will not, be diving more about that. Now, if your property has a recognized title and you are bought from a reputable real estate developer, okay, why are properties still expensive in Lagos? Number one, I'm going to talk about the process of documentation. Now, there was a project I was working on behalf of a diasporan, okay, and she actually asked me to make inquiries. She has a lot of properties in the Elerongbe axis. The Elerongbe axis is the international axis. And right now, properties in those axes right now are hot cake. If you have bought in Elerongbe, if you have bought around that Lekki Epe Expressway, what you have now is a gold mine. So let me just quickly say that. So this particular investor has several acres. So we started making some calls. We started, talking with some high-ranked officer. To our greatest surprise, the new land policy says that if you have a property in Lagos and it is untitled, more importantly in the Beju-Lekki axis, the new regulation says that you will now have to go to the New Town Development Agency. I'm going to say it again. If you have an untitled property in Lagos, you will approach the New Town Development Agency, which is the NTDA. That's what they are called. It's an office, okay, at the Lagos State Land Bureau. That means that if you have bought land that does not have excision, if you have bought land that does not have gazette, if you have bought land that does not have government allocation, if you have bought land that does not have a C of O or a governor's consent, so if you have bought land that does not have all these titles I've mentioned, what that simply means is that you will carry your survey, your documentation, and alele straight to NTDA. Now, I'm talking about Lagos State land policies. You need to understand why some of these policies can never make real estate to be cheap in Lagos. Now, if you have bought a landed property in Lagos, whether it is gazette, whether it is C of O, whether it is government allocation, whether it is, let's say, governor's consent, if you have bought land with any of these titles I've mentioned, just on the comment section, just say congratulations. I'm congratulating you right now, because I'll be exposing some things that is making property to be expensive in Lagos. A lot of people, someone called me recently, a diasporan, and she said, Ade, why will I go to Eleko and buy a land for 40 million? It is because of that call that I'm making this video, because I want you to understand what government is doing before you start passing judgment on real estate developers that are selling to you, because sometimes this pricing is not their fault. It's not from them. This pricing or the cost of real estate is based on government policies, recent policies on real estate. So this particular investor said, I cannot pay 40 million in a place I cannot buy immediately. Let me tell you that you may even buy some place 40 million and you may not be able to even work immediately. So you need to understand that what are the basic fundamentals, or what are those important things, okay, that is see, the reason why a lot of people are making investment mistakes as far as Lagos real estate is concerned is that many people still don't understand these regulations. They don't. There are regulations guiding Lagos State real estate. Sweetheart, is working. There are regulations guiding real estate, Lagos State real estate market. And this is what I'll be explaining. I'll be explaining that. Just wait, I'm coming. Sweetheart, I'm coming. I'm coming. Just wait. What exactly are these regulations? Now, so let's go back to the story. So this particular investor had large acres of land that she acquired from Omonile in Okiogun community of Elerongbe. There are interstate communities and the likes. So we started our investigation. Okay, how do we get this? Now, our report from NTDA stated that the new policy right now is that for every untitled lands that you have in Beju-Lekki, you have to come to NTDA and apply from government allocation. So if you're applying for government allocation, indirectly, you are buying the land from government. Now, a lot of people will say, hey, but when I bought from Omonile, I paid them. When I bought from this kind of particular person, I paid them. The regulation now is that as you are bought from Omonile, regardless of what you have paid them, because the Lagos State Land Policy says that all lands belongs to the government. All lands belongs to the government. So as you are bought from Omonile, you will also buy from what? From government. So that is how. So, but if you have bought a titled land in Lagos, you are exempted. You don't have any reason to worry about that. Are we together? So, what is the regulation saying now? To apply for government allocation, these are the present regulation. Number one, if you are buying a government land, or you are buying land from government, the first policy is that government will not sell land to you in Ibeju-Lekki land in plots. Please note this. They are not selling land to you in plots, neither are they selling in acres. The minimum you will get from Lagos State government now is in hectare. So government will sell a minimum of 1 hectare, a maximum of 5 hectares. Let me also say this. If you're buying land from government now, okay, you are buying in hectares. And the minimum of that you can buy if you are applying for government allocation is that you can get a minimum of 1 hectare, a maximum of 5 hectares. That's the new rule now. That means if you have Ibeju-Lekki, or if you have properties, untitled properties in Ibeju-Lekki, you are going to buy them in hectares, no, not in plots, not in acres. That's the rule. Now, if you have bought, the good thing is that for every land you buy from NTDA, the government allocation land, the good thing basically is that this land that you have bought will come with its own registered survey, its own approved layout, and its own infrastructural template. Now, the reason why government is doing this is to ensure that every real estate developer work in accordance to the master plan. Now, the reason why I consider this, okay, to be an intelligent move from government basically is that this obviously has helped, okay, to caution the activities of what? Illegal real estate developers. Okay, so I'm getting a question right now. Okay, so we'll get to that. If you have questions in the course of this live session, you can drop it. I don't intend to stay long in this live session. This is just some minutes past. I intend to be done by maximum 4:35. So if you have questions, you can send those questions. You can drop them on the comment section, and you can also send it to me privately. If you have my private number, you can also send it to me. I'll respond to them before we call it a day. So I'll also be coming online, okay, on Thursday by God's grace to talk about why Lagos State is becoming unaffordable for the middle class. This is I have a video which I did on this, but there's a new discovery. There's a new information that I'd like to share, and I don't want to mock it up. And of course, I don't want this particular live session, okay, to be excessively long. So I'll try as much as I can to be brief. So this is the new regulation, the new law. Now the implication for this basically now is that I have said it before that Lagos is, more importantly, the Ibeju-Lekki environs. Now, when government was bringing the airport project to Ibeju-Lekki, everybody was celebrating because it's a good infrastructural milestone that needs to be celebrated. I am not disputing that fact. When they launched the Dangote refinery, presently right now, the refinery has transformed that location. The refinery has transformed that location to the point that before the advent of the refinery, for many of us that are aware, Ibejuleki used to be a place that have security issues then, where if you drive around 8 o'clock, you can actually be robbed. There have been cases of ritual and some other things. But since the advent of that refinery, all those things have stopped. Now, that road right now is a busy road. The free trade zone inclusive and every other facilities that is happening. So all these infrastructures are good. But all these projects are a pointer to one thing. And what exactly is that thing? That government will not overlook Ibejuleki. That government interest will be there. And I've said it. I said it last year. I said it the year before last year. That now, as long as Ibejuleki is concerned, Ibejuleki is not a place now where you go and buy untitled property. Because if you are bought on, it's quite unfortunate that some people are still promoting untitled properties in Ibejuleki. That shows how heartless our people can be. Some people, for money, they can't do anything. So that's the new regulations. Minimum of 1 hectare, maximum of 5 hectares. Now, if you now have above 5 hectares, let's say for instance, you have like 30 acres, 40 acres. The reality now is that of all the acres of land you may see to have, maybe it is 20, 30, 40. The truth is, you can't afford to pay for the documentation of everything. So, see, let us be factual. You can't afford to pay for the documentation. So, the way this thing will be is that you will now look at your own personal income. Because I have not confirmed though this information I want to share concerning the pricing of government allocation land in Ibejuleki. So this is allegedly. Let me use the word allegedly, so that I will not be misquoted. And this is why it is very important also for you to do your own research. Allegedly, some informations are reaching me that to get 1 hectare, which is 15 plots, of government allocation land now at Ibejuleki is above 150 million naira. Let me say this again. Allegedly, to get a government allocation land now, whether you are buying in the Berekodo axis of Ibejuleki, whether you are buying in the Elerongbe. Now, this is for people that does not have document too. I'm not referring to those who have government allocation, who have bought land with government allocation, who have bought land with Gazette, who have bought land with C of O or governor's consent. This one does not concern you. I'm referring to people who have acres of registered survey and deed. So, information reaching me from a source that I will tag reliable is saying that 1 hectare of land in Ibejuleki now is above 150 million. So if you now want to buy, let's say 5 hectares, you do the math, you do the calculation. So these are some of the things that is presently going on. So when you look at some of these things now, for a developer that pays above 150 million to buy government allocation land in Ibejuleki, this same developer is still expected to provide infrastructure. This same developer now is still expected to do fencing, gatehouse, and probably provide electricity. And you are now expecting the developer to sell cheap. Now, who is doing business to make a loss? So that is a question that so because of this present policy or this present land regulation, properties in Ibejuleki can never ever be cheap. That is the point. So it does not matter whether what you have, okay, or what the estate have is just fence house and gate house. As long as the Ibejuleki, the cost of getting government allocation is not cheap. So that automatically has made the land to be what? To be expensive. So because we need to accurately explain some of these things so that investors can know. So if you have land in Ibejuleki now, what you have is a gold mine. And if you are contemplating to buy, the good news is that the best time to buy land was yesterday. The second best time to buy is now. Because you see, the longer you wait, okay, to buy property, the more expensive. See, they've not started the proposed international airport. What they just did was just to map it out. The value of properties skyrocketed. And you know, this particular investor, when we went to that international airport, I showed her got some estates, and she said, "Are they? But this is just fence and gate house. Why are they selling for 29 million, 35 million, 40 million?" So I explained what I'm sharing live now, okay, with her, and I told her, "Ma, this actually is the present policy that government has introduced." And this explains the reason why a lot of developers are running away from Lagos. Because realistically, it's outrageous. So I have to say this online, it's outrageous. And so this explains that if a government allocation land directly from Alausa NTDA is coming with this price, then you now understand that what you have bought or what you own, as long as they have title, is gold mine. And that is the reason why it is very important that we explain this to real estate investors. So land does not come cheap. It doesn't come cheap. And the situation presently right now is that the situation will even go worse as things continue to prolong. So basically, what they are trying to do in Lagos, okay, is to make Lagos, you know, we used to say that Banana Island, okay, is for the 1% of the 1%. And they will say, if you cannot afford Banana Island, go to Lekki Phase 1. If you cannot afford Lekki Phase 1, go to Lekki Phase 2. If you cannot afford Lekki Phase 2, go to Sango Tedo. If you cannot afford Sango Tedo, go to Abijo. If you cannot afford Abijo, go to Awoyaya. If you cannot afford Awoyaya, go to other parts of Ibejuleki, the Onosa, the Bodije, the Babadisa of Ibejuleki. And that explains how people have been migrating from one place to another in search of what? Affordable accommodation. So I also heard from a reliable source that more policies will be enacted. And trust me, once I get my information and my team have verified it, trust me, I'm going to be sharing with all of my viewers. And this is why you need to stick to this channel. See, the kind of work we are doing, more importantly for real estate investors, the kind of information we have at our disposal, these are the information that guides us whenever we want to make an investment. See, it's not about jumping at every offer you see. I've said this before. See, it's not about saying this project is trending. There are a lot of projects that have trended in time past, and they have today presently been abandoned. So basically, what I'm trying to say in essence basically is that working with an experienced real estate professional, more importantly, someone who have quality information that can guide your investments. Because you see, the safety of your investment is dependent on the information. I'm not talking about rumors. I'm not talking about information from unconfirmed sources. I'm talking about informations on government policies. And that is why sometimes if you are working with somebody that does not have this information at right, and they will making you should be making costly investments, and you'll be losing money. You should be losing money. So that is why I have come to explain these government policies so that we can have an accurate understanding. I already have questions on my personal WhatsApp. Okay, in case you want to ask questions, you want to be anonymous. Of course, please, we have a rule here. We don't mention name of companies, we don't mention name of developers, and we don't mention name of estate. You can just tell us where that property is located, but don't mention the name of the estate, because I will not want to be charged for defamation. Please. But you can just ask your questions, then I can. You notice that for all the videos I've been making, I don't mention estate. I don't, because I don't even have any need to do so, basically. Okay, but we can share important informations, that can help you, okay, make quality real estate investment. And that is why we're here. So like I was saying, the quality of your investment is strictly dependent on the information that is at the disposal of your real estate advisor. There was a particular location I was taken to on Saturday, and I've been working with this particular investor since 2019. So this person is like a special Ekmo to me. I can't even allow anybody to sell back properties to him. This is a Ekmo that whenever he's around, I'm always with him. We go out together. We go to his site together. I'm in charge of all his projects. So that shows how I value my clients. You people are not just, it's you people that just see yourself as clients. I consider you people as family. So anything that affects you affects me. Basically, that's where I do. So they took me to that location, and this particular agent that was in charge of that property was expecting a normal inspection, whereby you just come and see and say it is good. When we got to the site, of course, on our way to the site, this particular guy noticed I came with two people. That's my surveyor. I came with because my friend, who is a lawyer, was also with me. And as we were driving, we started asking this particular agent some fundamental questions, important questions. And when you see me, basically, I don't look like a Yoruba person. The only time people got to know that I'm Yoruba is just the fact that maybe I've spoken the language, or I've spoken directly to them. Basically, you won't know. So this particular agent was already saying some things in Yoruba, not knowing that I actually understood what he was saying. Now, when we got to site, we saw the land, and right on site, we got a report on that project. And I called the agent aside, and I asked him, why are you doing this? He said, doing what? Blah, 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 blah. He was saying, Yoruba, that's how you guys do. You spoil business for so. I asked him, why are you doing this? Do you know that the land that they wanted to sell to that particular client of mine was part of the land that government have put on that scheme? Yes, now. So, when I was talking about government policies, how you have to go to NTDA, how you have to pay for government allocation, and some other things. Now, today, there are some information reaching me now that 99% of untitled properties in the Bejuleki right now have been placed under government schemes. So, in as much as fact that there is no title on that property, anything can happen. More importantly, if it's Bejuleki, anything. In fact, should I say anything can happen, or things are already happening? So it is very important that we state this fact. So we got an information that that particular land was placed under a scheme, and that scheme is yet to be identified. And after the inspection, he was calling my brother, and I okay, ma, okay. Question is beginning to crop in. Hello, ma. All right. Okay. Accession. Yes, accession is a good title. But because of what is happening right now, okay, because of what is happening now in Lagos, I would say don't leave that land at accession. Please, if you can, try as much as possible for you to apply for ratification, or you start doing your documentation as soon as possible. I'll advise you do so. Please, man, if you can, you do so, because we're hearing rumors, like I've not confirmed it, that government is putting land under scheme. Okay, and there are different kinds of like excision now. When we talk about excision, we have excision in process, we have excision that is gazetted. Okay, don't even let me confuse you. An excision is supposed to have a gazette number. Now, the moment that excision is gazetted, it is 100% safe. But the moment that excision is here to be gazetted, there are tendencies that governments may want to play one or two roles on it. So please, if it's excision, start making plan on how you are going to apply for governor's consent. Yes, it is possible. Just pay some amount of money. I think it's between 2.5 2 million. Get it done, please, if you can, please get it done, because government interest is in the Bejuleki now, and anything can happen at any particular time. I hope I've answered your question, man. Yes, it's a good title, but policy can change, because the excision is subject to change. More importantly, if it is not a gazetted excision. If it is gazetted, of course, it's fine. But if it's not, something can still happen. All right, so I have some quick questions here, and I will answer them before I call it a day. Okay, I have just like 15 minutes more. So we'll just answer questions. So if you have questions, you can also send it across, and I'll be responding that. Okay, so we are in the question and answer segment of this live session. So I'm currently doing the question and answer segment. If you have a question, you can send it. Yes, excision is good, but please don't wait at excision. Please go further, because in as much as fact that it is not gazetted, doesn't have a government allocation, doesn't have a C of O, anything can still happen. Excision is good, it is, but policies are changing, and government may want to, or some people in government may want to play a fast one. So that is why it is very important. So the question I have is, okay, someone sent me a question on my WhatsApp. Okay, he said, what is the difference between a gazetted excision and a normal excision? Okay. Let me start by saying this. Now, if I say I have an excision on land, now an excision is a large piece of land that the government has given a community for their personal use. Now, when I talk about large piece of land that government has given to their personal use, okay, so an excision is a document that shows, okay, that government has released this land. However, it is also important that once government has given you that land, whether it is large piece of land, whether it is small piece of land, you are expected to proceed and ensure that that excision is documented in a file. Are we together? That excision is documented in a file. The moment the excision is documented in a file, it will have a volume number, the year the excision was given, and sometimes these documented things are mostly published. So the moment the excision is documented, is recorded, it becomes a gazetted excision, or it becomes a gazette. So they will say this excision was recorded in volume number 2, file 14, in the year 2004 or year 2022. Okay, once the excision is given, it is already gazetted. Okay, so from the gazette, all you just need to do is apply for a governor's consent, and that's all. That's all. Now, the challenge I'm having with most excisions basically is that some of these excisions did not scale through the process of gazette. And that is why sometimes when government wants to revoke title, it becomes extremely easy for them to revoke it, because the excision has not been gazetted. It has not been recorded. It has not been published. So sometimes if somebody should tell you that what I bought is a gazette, okay, you will see the year the gazette was given the volume or the file the Gazette is being recorded, and you can easily trace it and ensure. So from that Gazette, you will know the total amount of acres or plots that are under the Gazette, because I've seen instances whereby people will just have Gazette on 2 plots or 3 plots, and they will use that 2 plot or 3 plots of gazetted land to sell everything. So these are some of the fraudulent practices that we have been saying time. So the moment the excision is not gazetted, all hope is not lost. What you need to do basically is to apply for ratification, pay some amount of money, and from there, is either you get a government allocation or you get a C of O or a governor's consent. Now, what determines what you apply for if you are trying to document that excision is dependent on the state of that excision. Now, if it is a gazetted excision, like I initially explained, all you just need to do is apply for governor's consent. But if it's not gazetted, you have to go through the process of ratification, 1 or 2 things, you pay some money, and from there, you get either a governor's consent or a C of O, depending on the status of the excision. So that is the difference between a village excision and a gazetted excision. So I also have a question here where someone was saying, okay, my phone is locked. I got a question. So you can send, if you have inquiries, you can send it, please. You can send it. Let us quickly address some issues. Okay, someone was asking me, are you a lawyer? How come you have all this information? Well, as a real estate practitioner, I've been in the industry since 2019. So there are some information that we need to know so that we can, put you right. I'm not a lawyer, but I just know what I need to know to protect my client and my investor. So that's basically the question. So I also have a question. This is hello, Mr. Adejare. Can you please explain the process? Because I have land in Eleronbe. Okay, now the process is quite simple, very, very simple. The first thing you need to do if you have large acres of land in Eleronbe, basically, is that you need to send a surveyor there to confirm, okay, if your land has not been placed on that scheme, because larger percent of lands that we have in Eleronbe, that we have in Iberekodo and some parts of Ibejuleki have been placed under a government scheme. Okay, so that if they have been placed under a scheme, all hope is not lost. All you need to do basically is to locate the office of where the scheme is. Basically, when we talk about the scheme, we have the Ayetoru scheme, we have the Idera scheme. Okay, we have several schemes in Ibejuleki. That scheme basically just tells you the office that you are supposed to approach. So if there's necessity for you to buy from them, they will put you through the legal process. So basically, if you have confirmed what the scheme that is on your landed property, you just go to their office and allow her with a surveyor or with other experienced things, and of course they give you a breakdown of what you need to do to get the land documented for your own. So now the thing basically is that if you have, let's say, 20-30 acres, the reality basically is that you will get what you can only pay for. So it does not matter whether you have 40 acres, you have 50 acres. If you cannot afford to pay, you will just have to let those land go. So but what I've seen some couple of real estate investors, what the smart ones have been doing among themselves, is that they have been coming together now. They've been teaming up, okay, and they've been putting some resources together so that they can buy as much as they can from government. Because sometimes when you look at the cost of this documentation, it's a little bit scary. So it's always advisable that you team up, okay. You have many investors, because you see sometimes what's the benefit of having 40-50 acres? One person cannot cannot single-handedly finance the process of getting government allocation on some of those things. So you do want to look at that. Okay, so I got a question. Okay, this person said, I recently keyed into Lekki Havana Beach Resort. Is it a good investment? Of course, it is a good investment. It is. It's a wonderful investment. I did not promote it because I was not around. So I would have, if not, I would have gone there to make videos for my real estate. It is a wonderful investment. You have bought into that project. Trust me, it's a wonderful investment. But of course, it takes a while before the project will complete. But the developer, basically Xylos Company, They are very, very reliable and reputable. So there's nothing, to worry about. I hope I've answered the question. So I have just 5 more minutes to go. I have just 5 more minutes to go. My directors and media crew are already signifying that we need to go. Of course, we've been in the studio since 2 o'clock, recording and working. Of course, the essence of that basically is just for you all, to have the best real estate investment information. Because you see, if you are investing in Lagos, trust me, information is very, very key. Information is, in fact, the safety and the profitability of your investment is based on, the information that your realtor or your real estate advisor has right. So for anybody that may be doing real estate investments, of course, anywhere in Lagos, Nigeria, also in Abeokuta and other parts of, okay, Abeokuta, let me be specific. Okay, I do Lagos, both on the Lagos mainland and Lagos Island. I also do Abeokuta and some part of Ibadan, not because Ibadan is a large city. Whether it is housing. Now, what we've done basically in housing is that in another live session, I'll be sharing some major discoveries that I had, okay, while doing due diligence for a project on for an investor who wanted to key into a luxury property on the island. A lot of things are happening, and that is why it is very important to have somebody who is knowledgeable if you are buying real estate. We can't overemphasize that. Okay, we can't overemphasize that. It's very, very important that you have an experienced and a skilled person who is aware of this, some of the manipulations that may want to occur in the process of trying to tidy up, the process of purchase. So it's very important. So, but I'll be sharing that in some of my live videos and some other things. So first, okay, so I'll take one final. You mentioned an off-plan in Abraham Adesoya for 78 million. Are people really buying it? All right, let me quickly explain to that. Okay, I have another question. Okay, I have several questions. Okay. Okay, let me quickly explain one. If you are buying Odiomi now, I have some real estate developers that I will recommend. Okay, Odiomi is very tricky. It's a good place. It's a good place to buy. It is a very, very wonderful place to buy. But by sources in Ogun State, because larger part of Odiomi is in Ogun State, which is very good. But I have some developers I'm working with that are doing the right thing. Now, the most of the mistakes that some investors have made is that they have good intentions, but they are buying from the wrong developers. So if you want to buy, please just share the information of the property with me so that my team can check, because we have some information about Odiomi. It's a wonderful location, a good place. Though it's not a place you start developing already, but it's like you are buying property in front of that coastal road that is being done. Okay, so the person said, what about if your CFO application is already in progress before the NTDA regulations? Yes, if your CFO is already in progress, there's really nothing to worry about. The people that should be worried are people that did not start anything before NTDA regulations. Are we together? Now, if your process, well, so the only thing you just need to do is just track the development of your process. Okay, whoever is in charge, let them tell you the stage at which they reach, because there are some CFOs presently right now that is in front of the Lagos State governor now, that all the governor just needs to do is to sign. Okay, so you need to find out. So if you have started before these NTDA regulations, there is nothing to worry about. The people that should be worried are people who have not started at all. Those are the ones that will pay the amount of money. So there's nothing to worry about. So if you want to do Odiomi, please just send me a personal information. Let us verify for you, man. Please, we need to, because some people are beginning to do one or two, the way things are being done. So that's just it. So I want to quickly say a very big thank you to everybody that have joined this session. I want to call it a wrap. I don't like making lengthy videos. From previous experience, I've gotten to find out that a lot of people are, because there are still some people that will definitely watch this video because I'll be putting it on my channel. Please encourage us by subscribing. You know, we are doing a good job, right? Share this video with your friends and families, and see you on Thursday, because we are going to be discussing something much more important on Thursday. Thank you very much. God bless you. Bye for now.